Oh boy. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. As you can tell by the title of the stream, I'm not going to be keeping the stream. However, I'm going to be doing something that is a little related to streaming, and that is fixing this. So this is a computer that I have I built by myself about 3 years ago now, and it broke back in October, and I'm going to fix it. I know that the motherboard is shorted, so I have a new motherboard here, and hold on, I need to get the new processor. One sec. And I have, this is not an i7, this is the i5 6500. It is a used CPU. My brother used it, he upgraded his PC. So I'm gonna try and fix this one. So I know that the motherboard is shorted. Unfortunately for me, this is a mini ITX case, so everything's really cramped in here, including the stupid side panel. By the way, hey chat, hey Emma, hey Jillian. Aw, two sisters are watching this stream at the same time. SpeedCube Sam, I do have a Mac. That's what I'm streaming on. However, the computer that I have, the MacBook Pro, it's a very nice computer, but the problem I don't like with it is that it just doesn't have the computing power that I want to have in a streaming PC. But it does have pretty much everything else that I want. Portability, good battery life, good screen, good keyboard. The list goes on. But this thing's a lot more powerful, and I want to fix it so I can stream and I can have nicer live stream setups. I don't know if you guys realized or remember this, but I used to have setups back in the day where you could see my camera, and then I would have CS timer on the side as well, and my time and my name. I'd be able to customize the setup a little bit more just because I had that compute power. Why is there a huge spider on the PC? I don't see one. If there is one at some point, I live in the middle of the woods, so it's what you take the good with the bad when you live here. I need a screwdriver. Okay. Cat ears, the motherboard is broken. All right. We are going to obtain a screwdriver. I'm going to take 2 screwdrivers just in case. All right. All right. Shows the last time I opened this thing. Okay. So what I have to do right now is I have to remove the motherboard from the case. That is easier said than done because everything connects to the motherboard. That's why it's called the motherboard. So to do this, I have to unhook every single component from this PC from the motherboard. So this includes stuff like the graphics card. So I'm just going to do that now. I can kind of, if there are any computer nerds here, I'm going to try and show you what I've got along the way. Bye, dog. My dog doesn't want to watch me do this. Yeah. There are definitely worse things. No, there's nothing worse than getting the motherboard broken. Because once the motherboard's broken, in a machine like this, it's just a real pain to have it taken out. Oh, I shouldn't have taken out the screw. Screw it, whatever. Yeah, just the problem with this thing is that everything's just so tight that trying to get to any of the components is just a real pain in the butt. Nah, Lauren, I am currently in Maryland. Oh, jeez. All right, let me try and give you guys a better angle. Move some of the side panels out of the way. I have to take this thing out first because that's restricting a lot of the access into the computer. The motherboard, I'm not sure what happened. It definitely shorted. I know that much. But apart from that, I don't know why it shorted and what caused it. And shit. You're gonna hear me swear a little bit, just so you guys know. Just a warning. It's just really frustrating. If the CPU of the graphics card broke, yeah, that's true. In terms of a price standpoint, it's cheaper that the motherboard broke. I can't see the CPU being a problem, but the graphics card, if that broke, I'd still have a machine though. And because I don't do any sort of hardcore gaming, I could pick one up on the cheap. You know, it wouldn't be like the nicest graphics card, but right now this is a 760. It's very old, so I just don't need anything that nice. Julian Alaga, thanks so much for the shout out. No problem, kids. You guys coming to any of the competitions coming up? You guys are, I don't remember where you guys are, but it'd be nice to see you guys at competitions. It's always nice to see younger kids getting into cubing. Although you guys are getting old. Okay, right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to unplug as much of the motherboard junk as I can. The graphics card is going to be the real pain in the butt because I need to get that out, and that's not going to be fun. But if I can get the motherboard removed with the graphics card, then I can kind of mess up the motherboard a little bit because this one's dead, so I don't care about it. Having some extra GPU power is nice. Yeah, it is always nice, but I don't particularly need it given the work that I do. Most of my work is not super like CPU intensive, at least in terms of schoolwork. Streaming is going to require a little bit, and that's the main reason why that's the main reason why I want this board. Okay, that's the last of the the side panel components. Okay, right now what I'm doing is I'm taking this. There's a big old CPU cooler in here. Big old CPU cooler in here, and this thing is going to be a total pain in the butt to get out. I'm gonna guess that this is the reason why the motherboard shorted in the first place. The back plate is touching the base. I don't think that'd be the reason why, but I just guess. I'm also not going to be reusing this CPU because I'm using my brother's old one. So I don't have to worry about keeping the CPU safe. I really need to get this graphics card out. Teach me math. Let me teach you math after I get this stupid graphics card out of here. I need a flathead screwdriver. Tell me where the flathead. What college do I go to? I go to Maryland. You can check out my LinkedIn if you want to see any of my professional or academic work. Jeez, I feel old when I tell people to check out my LinkedIn. Gotta have a screwdriver in here somewhere. Actually, I think this might work. Actually, you think this is too rusty? I think it's too rusty. Kids, don't build your own PCs. Go buy a nice laptop. Flathead. We're in business. Were you watching the Northwest Championship stream? Yes, I was. I watched you +2 out of a really nice average, Danny. I'm really sorry about that, man. This repair, a little while, because the thing about motherboard repairs is that they require the whole system to be disassembled. Oh, got it. Come on. Okay, come on. There we go. All right, that's really good. That's really good. Oh, thank God. Okay, so this is my graphics card. Oof. I don't know if you guys could see. I don't know if you guys could see that. That was a lot of dust. All right, so we're gonna put this in a safe location where nothing's gonna happen to it. Cool. I'm gonna put some private information over here. Okay. Nice cable management. Yeah, I should have picked an easier PC to cable manage in. Do I own a Team MoU card? Yeah, I do. Somewhere. I definitely have one. I got a Lucas one very recently. If you guys saw my Yuzhou Pro unboxing, I've been playing around with that, and I'll try and get to that at some point a little bit later. Did the technical scammers call you for helping you getting your PC fixed? No. Nice big PC fan right there. So the hard drive and the power supply can kind of stay where they are. They're not being affected at all by this motherboard move. But the motherboard needs to go. Ask Phil or Andy. So I think I actually know a little bit more about computers than they do. One of my fun fact, one of my projects in the cubicle was to build a PC for him way back in the day. I think they know a little bit more now, but I was one of their resident computer nerds. First world problem right here. This screwdriver is too long, and this one is even longer. Gotta go find another screwdriver. Good location. The thing is, perfect. 2 small screwdrivers. The thing about Nats in St. Louis is that are there a lot of cubers out in St. Louis, out in Missouri? By the way, I don't know if you guys check CF at all, but I've been starting to learn some ZBOL, so I'll try and post a video on that sometime soon. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking all the COLLs that I either don't know or really hate, and I'm learning out I'm learning all the ZBOLs for those specific COLLs. So if I get a bad COLL, instead of just doing the COLL and then a UPerm, I'll just do the ZBOL for it. Once I learn a couple of those, and there are like 2 COLLs that I have in mind for that, so it's not like I'm learning a bunch of smaller sets. I'm just learning 2 COLLs. After that, my plan is to go and learn 2 GLL, because that's what I've been recommended by a lot of people. I have MoU wants me to be the fastest cuber that I can possibly be, because that's usually the best way to market their brand. So no, they have no restrictions on that, but at the same time, I use MoU cubes anyway, because I honestly do think they're good. Because it doesn't make sense for me to team up with a manufacturer if I don't think that they're going to be able to provide me main cubes, right? If I thought the Volk was the best cube on the market, I'd go talk to Chibi. But I think the GTS 2M is the best in the market for me right now. All right. So So I'm not just taking out the motherboard. I'm actually completely replacing both the CPU and the motherboard because my brother has an old i5 6500. So I thought, let's not let that go to waste. I'd rather not use this old i5 4670K. And shoot, hold on. There's one last thing I need to do here. I'd rather not use the 4670K and instead let that sit in the corner, and instead use a nicer. Oh, come on. All right, I think that's every component on this motherboard. Got it. Okay. So, wow, look at the dust. I shouldn't have blown that in the direction of my computer. Okay, so the last thing I need to obtain from the motherboard is the RAM. So we're going to move this real quick and deal with the motherboard. K-cubing is, I thought that was like in Kansas. It was not in Missouri. I know they're right next to each other, but there are no cubers in Delaware, so maybe there's a reason why. Is a ×4 Gen 3 enough for an RX 580? Oh, you're not talking to a supercomputer nerd here. I know what you're talking about in general, but I don't know enough details about PCI cards. I'm going to guess that you're going to need a by 16 or at least a by 8. But, I'm not the smartest computer guy, or else, this issue would have been fixed much faster by not using an ITX PC. I got a friend out in Missouri, but they don't really cube. I convinced them to go to a competition once here in Maryland, but they don't really cube. All right. Here we go. Last thing I need to unscrew. All right. Okie doke. Let's get this out of here. And then let's get this bad boy off. So I'm not going to be reusing this because this is a real pain in the butt. Simply because it's a little too big for that case. And I really hate it. So once I have this, here's my old 4670K. It still works. So could reuse it if I was able to find a cheap board for it. I did find a pretty cheap one on Amazon, but this thing was like $5 more. So it just made sense to me to spend an extra $5 and get a significant performance boost by using the 6500K. 6500. Cough, NVIDIA. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I use the 760. I'm gonna guess that usually NVIDIA cards are gonna be better than anything you find from AMD. But I don't know enough about the newer cards. I do know back in the day when I was purchasing, the 770 was the best option for a new PC buyer. So, all right, I gotta run and grab a power cable because I don't have one here. And I'll probably also quickly grab a monitor if you guys want to come with me. I'll answer some questions in chat. I'll try and do a Use Your Pro review. The thing is, if I don't switch to it, if I stick with GTS 2, I don't think it makes sense to all right, hold on. I don't think it makes sense really to do a full review of it if I'm just going to say it's not my main. But I'll let you guys know a little bit more about that when it comes closer to actually doing when I have a better opinion of it. Yesterday I wasn't really in, so I didn't have a lot of time to. I've just been practicing it. All right, practicing with it. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is a really old monitor. This is it's like 3 years old. Is a math major fun? Yeah, I love it. if you are planning on doing a math major, I would highly suggest taking up an applied degree at the same time, unless you want to do applied math. Or applied math is good too. Better job prospects than pure math, especially if you don't want to get a PhD and teach. The delay is probably like 20 seconds, but at the same time, I'm not reading every comment as they come out because a lot of my work is being done sort of the cables around my neck. So things aren't going at, things are real time, almost. Like I don't need a ghost or anything. What was I getting? I need, I need a keyboard and I need a mouse. Both of which are right here. My old setup. You should recognize this. My fish tank in the background. Yeah, I need to get both my mouse and my keyboard real quick. Oh wait, I have an old crappy mouse. Ugh. So I don't need to move this one. I do need the keyboard though. I live in Indiana, but I couldn't go to a comp to qualify. That's the kind of pain in the butt. Maybe instead of having nets in weird locations, we'd have locations where there are already lots of competitions. Yeah, T-Fresh Cuber. The thing about Nats, though, is that it's gonna be limited one way or another. But I always like the and the thing is there were low standards to qualify for Nats too. So it's not like you needed crazy things. You just had to go to a competition. But yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I should take my vitamins. Take your vitamins, kids. I know what you mean by like not being able to go to a competition before Nats, even if it's near you. Nats 2014. I have a cousin who lives around there. And so instead of staying in a nice hotel, I stayed at my cousin's house. It was a ton of fun. I have a story about that. At Nats 2014, FMC, I believe, was Friday night. Now, I'd never done FMC before. And I was excited to be able to get a new event on my profile. But at the same time, I didn't really care about what I got because it was FMC. So right before I started the attempt, I actually learned from my parents that my cousin was making Korean barbecue. And for those of you who've never had Korean barbecue, you're missing out on life. It's absolutely delicious. Like if you're not really used to Korean culture, you might be like, oh, Korean food's kind of weird. But Korean barbecue, just delicious, delicious, delicious meat. So if you want like just fantastic meat, you gotta go get some Korean barbecue because it just blows you out of the water. There's nothing like it. Anyway, here we go. Motherboard. All right, this is Wi-Fi, SATA cables, IO shield, antennae, drivers. Oh, this is Norton. Oh, I hope they don't install Norton when I boot this thing up. Wow, there definitely is a reason why this motherboard costs nothing. There's nothing in the box. It's like SATA cables, that's it. Okay, so while I was getting my CPU, I also got isopropyl alcohol. So I'm gonna clean off the CPU that I'm using, and I'm sticking with one of the Intel stock coolers this time. CPU. I'm gonna stick with an Intel stock cooler just because of the lower profile, and I cannot be bothered to buy more components than necessary. So if any of you guys thought I was as good as Linus, I don't know if any of you guys watch tech channels, but I kind of watch Linus Tech Tips a decent amount. Do you think I'm as good as him? Boy, are you mistaken. But it's really not that hard to build a PC. Even idiots like me can do it. All right, so here's this. Here's a couple swipes of isopropyl alcohol. No, don't use that cooler. Scrapyard wars. Yeah. Cream barbecue, cream barbecue, cream barbecue, cream barbecue. In the area, my cream barbecue go-to place is Shinchon Garden. If I'm with my family, or if like I want a higher class place. If I just want to eat meat and like in a couple of years I'll be able to drink beers. If I want to eat meat and get some drinks with friends, Iron Age is an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue for $20. Way better if you're going for big parties. This is good enough. Yeah, I try not to drop my stuff. See, because I can't afford, you know, another really expensive piece of hardware. You know, I have to use what I got. So right now I'm gonna clean off the CPU. I cleaned it off earlier before streaming, so it's mostly good. But I wanted to get the last bit of grime off of it before sticking in this motherboard. As a note, kids, discharge yourself before touching sensitive PC components, because if this thing shorts, that's another week and a half before I get this PC done. All right. Okay, what's my plan here? I need documentation. That's not useful. That's not useful. That's not useful. This is useful. Prodigy. This is my case. This thing's a piece of trash. 632, 6.6 millimeter flats. Those are for the motherboard. So I'm guessing they assume you know how to screw the motherboard, which I guess evidently from the fact this is my second or third motherboard, I don't. All right, the flat screws are the ones I need. I was using the hex screws. You're a genius. I'm a genius. All right, children, remember to read the instructions before spending thousands of dollars on computer equipment, or else you don't spend an extra $80 on a motherboard. No, this was 70. 77. All right, I'm going to use the correct screws so my motherboard doesn't short. And I suppose now is a good time as ever to dust this thing off. Come with me. Well, actually, I need to bring you over. Okay, are you guys ready? Do you want to see some amazing dusting action from the side of getting dust in your face? That didn't do much. I'm too cheap to go buy an air can. All right. We are going to install a motherboard. All right, we're going to move you over. I'm going to take a look at this board right here. This is a motherboard. It needs a lot of components in it, including, but not limited to, a CPU, a stock cooler from Intel, where'd it go? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Oh, no, here it is. We're good, boys. Some thermal paste. This is just some cheap stuff that I got with my CPU cooler, but hell if I'm going to use that again. RAM. And then I will wait to put the graphics card in until I put the rest of the components in here. But again, make sure you are discharged. And this chair has cloth on it, so I'm just not going to use it. Oh, is someone else streaming right now? I'd highly suggest watching them unless you really, really like computer components. Discharge again. All right. So here's the CPU. As usual, line up the notch in your CPU with the notch in the motherboard. Place this handle down. And then bring this arm down. Oh, wait, shoot. Huh? What? There we go. Now bring the motherboard arm down and around. Just firmly and securely put your CPU in the motherboard. God, I hope this works. Next up, what you do is take a little bit of your thermal paste, put a pea-sized amount. Do I even have any thermal paste left? Yeah, I do. Put some thermal compound right here on the don't do a terrible job of applying it, like me. And then simply and firmly place your thing on the thing and do the thing. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Lock it. Lock it. Oh. Come on. Come on, you stupid thing. 3 of them went in. And the 4th is not. That's not good. There we go. No, that's not secure. That's not secure. Come on. There we go. All right. All 4 are down and in. Kind of. Just don't touch it, Keaton. Next, what you do is you take this and put it in the CPU fan header, which is this right here. So I'm going to bring it around this way to have less cable get in the way. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I can't do that. I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to run the wires up through this, and then I'm going to place it down here on the CPU fan. Okay, that's done. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put the RAM slots in one at a time. So that's the wrong way. This thing uses DDR4, doesn't it? Okay, kids. When you buy computer components, buy the correct RAM for them too. Shit. Oh boy. I did a stupid, children. My RAM is incompatible with my motherboard. Okay. Interesting. I need to go make another purchase. I think this computer fix is going to cost a little bit more money than I intended. God, I'm an idiot. See, yeah, RAM doesn't cost too much, but it is another cost, the component that I'm going to need to go buy. Download the RAM. The computer needs to work before I download the RAM. All right, I can go to a micro center, but that's kind of far away. So I'm gonna go see if something's a little bit closer. But yeah, I feel like an idiot. I need DDR4. And after you go DDR4, search by lowest price. God, I'm an idiot. Amazon Prime? No, I want something today. I want to play video games tonight. I bought this so I could play League of Legends on a nice computer at 144 FPS. I don't have a sound card. Sound cards are not a necessary part of the computer as long as you have a headphone jack. So that's that. Boy, I feel like an idiot right now. I should have gone with the DDR3 board with the 4670K. Okay, I'm gonna head out. I got a little bit of work to do. So you guys, Lydia's streaming. Go watch Lydia. I'm gonna head out of here. Bye, YouTube.